Long ago, a giant sea monster known as the Mr. Storeworm emerged from the ocean. It was said that the body of the storeworm stretched across half the globe. Its eyes were as red as fire, and its breath was poisonous to all living creatures. Every day, she drew closer to Scotland. The King of Scotland sought help from the wizard. The wizard said, "You must surrender your only daughter, Princess Gemlovely, to the storeworm. Only then will it leave." The king turned pale. Princess Gemlovely was kind, gentle, and beloved by all. The king asked, "Is this the only way to save my people?" "It is the only way," said the wizard. The king knew the wizard was serious, but he was not yet ready to give up. The king sent a message to all of Scotland. "The man who can kill the Meester Storeworm will get half of the kingdom and Princess Gemlovely as his bride." The king was excited when 36 men came forward. But as soon as they saw the monster, they all ran away. The king was sad. He knew the princess had to be offered up to the storeworm. There was great grief throughout the land. On the day before the princess would be offered to the monster, a farm boy went to the seashore. His name was Midou. All his life, Midou wanted to be a great hero. He was determined to defeat the storeworm and save Princess Gemlovely. Midou borrowed a small boat. He loaded a bucket of burning coals into it and rowed toward the storeworm. At dawn, the monster awoke. It slowly opened its giant jaws in a yawn. A great flood of water rushed into its open mouth. The boat and Midouer swept in. Midouas carried down the storeworm's throat. When the boat finally stopped, Midou stepped out into a pool of shallow water deep inside the monster. He climbed through the monster's body to its beating heart. He carried his knife and the bucket of hot coals. Midou used his knife to carve a hole and dumped the coals into it. Then, he blew and blew until the fire became a huge blaze. The storeworm started to twist in agony as the fire burned in its heart. The smoke caused the monster to give a mighty cough. Midou's boat flew out of the storeworm's throat and back into the sea. He quickly rowed to shore. Midou stood on the shore with the king, the princess, and many others. They watched the monster fling its tail high into the air. They thought its tail would strike the sun. The storeworm then fell into the sea with such force that its teeth flew out of its mouth. The king threw a big party in honor of Midou's victory. He had become a great hero. Midou and the princess were soon married, and they lived happily ever after.